what do you guys want to see? I mean, I don't have much NFL news to share because, I mean, the NFL's not very interesting always. I mean, some weeks it sucks. Some weeks I barely watch NFL. Like last weekend, I didn't watch Sunday Night Football. I typically watch Sunday Night Football. I only watched the Colts game. They beat the Chiefs. And I also watched the ending of the Dolphins game because it was close, and I thought, hey, one of the undefeated teams has got to go unless we end up in a tie in overtime. Let's just predict. All right, I'm tired of this. I don't have the games. I wish I did. Now I don't know who's going up against who. So I mean, I could go get it, or I could look on my TV, which I think I'm gonna go do. So you guys give me a minute, and I'll be back. Alright, so I have it pulled up on my TV, so if I look this way, you're going to know I'm looking at the TV. So, first game they got is Arizona Cardinals and the Panthers. I'm going to have to go with the upset. The Panthers are going to win this one 27-24. I think it's going to be a close game, obviously. Kyler Murray's going to have a somewhat decent game. Baker Mayfield's going to throw a couple touchdowns and throw that in the interception. I think that's pretty reasonable. Um, I do think that the Panthers get their second win of the season and a must-needed win. Of course, this isn't the first game of the week, but Dolphins have already been defeated by the Bengals, so congrats to them. I like their white uniform. So let's go to our next matchup, which is looks like it's the Seahawks versus the Lions. I'm gonna pick the Seahawks on this one. I think Geno Smith does perform. I mean, I'm probably gonna say like 30-21. I mean, I think it's gonna be a good game. Jared Goff's just not gonna be able to compete at the end, and I think Geno Smith's gonna have an incredible game, which is going to make his team win again. Which they almost. Or was no, that was the. That was definitely the Falcons that came back from a 27-3 lead, but same thing, or 28-3. Next game is the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. This one I've already seen an advertisement on YouTube. It's Sunday Night Football. I'm sorry, the Chiefs ain't winning. They couldn't even beat the Colts, and that is sad considering the Colts have tied against the Texans and got defeated. Well, more like blown out of the water, 0-24 against the Jaguars. I don't know how the Chiefs are going to maintain their season if they can't even beat a team that lost to the Jaguars. And I get the Jaguars are better this year, but they're not that good. Okay, so I don't want to hear you guys saying, "Oh, Drew, your prediction's wrong," because I do think that the Chiefs aren't going to win. I think it will be close. I'm gonna say about 20-17 or something like that. I do think it's a little low scoring for most Sunday night football games, but if you look at the last week's San Francisco and Broncos game, I know the score is 11-10 Broncos, which probably should have been way more on the Broncos side. Dan or Linsky, the guy that ran out of the back of the end zone, he's happy because he has a new friend. He has quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. Hey, you both ran out of the end zone. You went a little too far. Next one is the Bears and Giants. I'm going to pull the Giants, and I'm going to say this one's not that close. I'm going to say 28-14. Justin Fields is not ready for the Giants. I mean, regardless of what people think of Fields, he hasn't had the best seasons. And although I am a Justin Fields fan, not a Bears fan, just a Fields fan, I don't think he'll have enough to defeat the Giants. I think the Giants come back after their lost against Dallas Cowboys with Cooper Rush. They lost 23-16. I think they rebound from that and they get a win and they improve to 3-1 on the season, which I mean could be better than anything. And I just gotta make sure that my TV doesn't shut off. It looks like the next game is Eagles and Jags, and I think the Jaguars are gonna win this one. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical. Sometimes I try and say stuff. I'm just so stupid. Okay, it's going to be Jaguars. I'm gonna say, and I'm pretty skeptical about this. Okay, I said skeptical. You know what? I'm pretty unsure about this. Okay, I should have just said that first of all. We just wasted 30 seconds because I couldn't say one word. I'm unsure that the Jaguars are going to get done. I do think Jacksonville has a better offense than last year. You know, Doug Peterson, as head coach, has tied the same amount of wins as Urban Meyer, which I mean is pretty sad. But you know, it's the Jags, so I think the Jags pull off the upset, 24-21. I think they get a game-winning field goal. You know, team has suffered so much adversity. People thought they were going to suck this year. They thought Lawrence was not ready for the NFL. I think Lawrence probably wasn't ready last year because he sucked and his team sucked. But, you know, on to the next matchup, which happens to be my Indianapolis Colts traveling to, I believe, Tennessee to go play. I'm going to pick judging on last year, I'm going to say the Colts. I'm not being biased. I think it's going to be close. I think they win 14-6. I mean, you know, it's going to be a low-scoring game. The Colts have not had an efficient season, but the Titans haven't either. So, I mean, it kind of evens the balance. One thing I am skeptical about, you know, I think it's, I think it's weird how the Tennessee Titans have taken a downgrade. I mean, yes, they got A.J. Brown. He's now an Eagle. They got rid of him. Of course, I don't know why they got rid of him. Maybe because they saw some value in this draft pick or whatever they traded. Sorry. I don't know if they're ready yet. Of course. So we're talking about the Colts game. I'm not sure either team's gonna be ready. So 14-6. I mean, I think that's reasonable. It's only 22 points. Ravens and Bills. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Oh, I think it's going to be 38-35. And I don't know why I'm picking so many field goals to win, but I think Justin Tucker gets the best of them. So Justin Tucker and the Ravens are going to win this one 38-35. Bills fans, they don't really understand how they lost to Miami. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Josh Allen he threw it to the right guy, but the guy couldn't get out of bounds, or I don't think he went out of bounds. He didn't even try to get out of bounds until, like, the end of the play, which is kind of stupid because you're trying to get in the field range. You know, I don't understand why they did that, but, you know, this is week 4, so, yeah, I'm pretty sure they had a valid reason. So we're back. The next game appears to be the Jets and Steelers game. Zach Wilson will return. I don't think Zach Wilson's going to get his first win. I think the Steelers win this one 19-7. I mean, you know, it's the Jets, and the Jets still aren't that good. And the Steelers, well, not being as good as last year when they had Big Ben, I still think they get the win after losing to the Browns 29-17 last week. As there's a bug on my mic. You know, I just don't think. I think maybe if the Jets had Joe Flacco, which, I mean, top 5 in passing yards, heck yeah, I'm keeping him in. Screw Zach Wilson. I get that he's a rookie. He was a rookie last year, and he's supposed to be your future, but let Joe Flacco play. Jets, he's top 5. I mean, yes, he hasn't been the best, but he led you guys to a win against the Browns. And 1-2 is a bad start to the season, but compare that to the Vegas Raiders. The Vegas Raiders have not won a game yet. I mean, you gotta let Flacco start. If you don't let Flacco start, you're screwed. All right. Next game is the Chargers and the Texans, which I'm gonna say the Texans upset the Chargers. They did it last year, which was very impressive. 41-20 something last year in Houston. I think they get it done. I don't think they're gonna be as dominant. I'm gonna say 28-21. You know, it's gonna be close. I think the Texans get their first win of the season officially, because the tie does not count as a full win. It counts as a partial win and a partial loss. So, you know, kind of evens out the balance there. So 1-2-1 isn't the worst start to the season. I mean, you could be like the Raiders. Again, I'm bringing their name up. I think the Raiders should have been way better. Speaking of the Raiders, we're going to have them very soon. We now have the Rams and the Niners. I don't think Jimmy G is going to get done. I think that the Rams are going to win. And this is actually a rematch from the NFC Conference Championship in 2021. Now, if you guys don't know, that game in a 2017 win, guess what? I'm going to say the same prediction. 20-17 win for the Rams. You know, I mean, I could be... I'm an idiot. My GPA is was like 0.9 last year, so don't expect me to be smart, okay? I'm only smart when it comes to football predictions sometimes, and even then I can screw up. We gotta hurry, so let's go Denver and the Raiders. I'm gonna pick Denver, of course. I mean, yes, they sucked against the 49ers with Jimmy G, and Jimmy G is an above average, a little bit above average, but I just don't think the Raiders have enough. Sorry, Raiders fans. You're going to lose again. You're 0-4. Hey, you can rebound next week. Unless that's your bye week. I don't pay attention. I'm going to say 24-17. It's going to be a close game. I mean, obviously it's got to be a close game. Denver has not shown anything on offense at all. They lost to the freaking Seahawks. Put that in perspective. They were starting Geno Smith, all right? I can understand if it was Drew Lock, but Geno Smith. Next one, Vikings and Saints. I'm going to say I don't think the Saints are going to win with the Red Rifle or Andy Dalton. I don't think Andy Dalton's ready. All right, he's going to London. I mean, you never know. London's a first time for everything. There's a first time for everything. Somewhere new, you know, traveling just a little bit. I think it's gonna be 21-7. I don't think the Saints are gonna win. I think the Vikings take this one. Kirk Cousins is gonna have a decent start. I think he gets a touchdown to Jefferson probably. Browns Falcons. Browns 28-3. All right, I don't think the Falcons are ready. I don't care that they almost came back against the Rams. I don't know who it was. I don't care that they almost came back, all right? They are not ready for actual play, all right? This is going to show that the Browns are better, and this is going to also show that the Falcons are weak. Marcus Mariota, weak. He always has been. And I do think Jacoby Brissett wins again, which should get him a 3-1 record. Probably a tie for the division with the Ravens. We have two more. Patriots and Packers. The Packers had an ugly outing against the former Patriots quarterback, Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady's old team gets it done. I'm going to say 7. No, I'm going to say 14-7. It's going to be a low scoring, you know. The Packers still aren't prepared. Aaron Rodgers still hasn't necessarily learned his receiving core. And finally, Washington and the Cowboys. Cowboys, give me them 56-7, all right? I don't want to hear you critics say that the Washington Commanders are ready. Carson Wentz got sacked more times than they actually scored. All right, he got sacked 9 times. They only scored 8 points. That is ridiculous. I don't understand how he can be that bad. Even in Indianapolis, Carson Wentz showed potential. He showed that he can still be a starter. I mean, I get that and our offense wasn't that great, and I get that this offense isn't any better. But come on, you have Terry McLaurin and freaking Curtis Samuel, 2 Buckeyes. You gotta be better than this. You also have, I don't know, probably something Dotson. I mean, you got talent. So I'm gonna end this video here because I'm gonna go on a rant. You know. See you guys in the next video.